Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come on in, share, share, share. We are so happy to have you here. Hello, Tony. Thank you for tuning in. Deacon Holmes, I see you out there. Thank you for tuning in. We are ready to get started here. We are just, again, so excited to have you here because you could be anywhere else, but you're here with us. So again, welcome to Build Your Best Life with Coach Deborah D. Smith. You know, I believe it is better to train early rather than to try to fix later. My theme for 2022 is it's all about actions, because you know what? Your words, your steps, your gestures, the movement of your eyes, your writing, all of that is part of your actions. And your actions are very crucial, and it's what other people see. So as you go about, make sure that you think about your actions. So good evening again, and we are in the month of March. Can you believe it? This month, my theme is family, friends, and foes. And you know, all of us have all of those. But before we get into this, I am super excited to have my special friend, Angela Nixon, back. She's been on here a couple times, but she is the bomb. I love her to death, and I got a chance to meet her last year. So welcome back, Angela.
Thank you, Miss Deborah. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me back.
Oh, yes, anytime, anytime. And I know you, and some of our listeners have probably seen you on, and others have not. So, can you tell us some things about yourself and what you do and what you love to do?
Sure. Well, first off, I am a Christian. I love the Lord. I am a wife and I have two beautiful children. My son is 17, getting ready to graduate high school. And my daughter, yes, I'm excited about that. And my daughter is 13, just starting high school. I'm an ordained children's minister at my church. I do children's ministry. I am also an educator for over 20 years. I'm in education. I'm a science teacher, a biology teacher. I love teaching. I love children. I'm also the leadership coach at our school. The school that I'm at is a lighthouse school. It's one of the first leadership schools in the English speaking Caribbean. We use Sean Covey. We do the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. So I'm a coach in charge of the high school process there. And that's me.
Yes, and I was so privileged to be able to visit her high school when I was in Nassau. And it is a very nice school. I love in their library, they have a poster about the 7 habits. So I was excited about that. Great. Thank you so much, Angela. So today we're going to talk about, guess what? The types of friends. There are different levels of friends. You know, people are just all about themselves. Sometimes they want to do whatever they want to do. We try to get along. We get along maybe for a while. Friends fall out. You know, enemies pop in and out, and we don't know what is really going on. But sometimes it helps if we can understand that we have different levels of people in our lives. There are even different levels of friends, you know. So we're going to kind of talk about that today. Good evening, Agnes. Thank you so much for tuning in. But one thing I do want to bring up is that friendships are crucial to our lives, and research has proven that those people that have multiple friends in their lives are happier than others. So it is very helpful for us to have those friends and those people that we like to and like I said, it's different levels of friends and different types of friends. So I have some friends that I may call all the time. I have some friends that I might text. I have some friends that I might not even communicate with for a year. But when we do communicate, it's all like, hey, we talked yesterday. So it is different kinds of friends and relationships. So, Angela, tell us about a special friendship that you have, excuse me, including how long you have been friends and if you've ever had any serious disagreements.
Okay, and we're talking about friends outside of spouse, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Well, I have a very close friend. We've been friends for over 25 years. We met in college. And so we had that in common. We shared a dorm room, and she's Bahamian, and she lives in Nassau. Even outside of that, I switched careers, so we kind of did not continue together, but we still stuck together as friends. And she's really close to me. I am her child. She's my child's godmother, and I'm her child's godmother. And so we have a very good relationship, and we support each other. I don't think we've had any major disagreements. She's pretty easygoing, like I am. And we haven't really had any disagreements to talk about. We've just always had a very supportive friendship.
Oh, that's good. And that's nice. Very, very nice to, be able to have that type of friendship that lasts because we know that, some relationships we have only for a season and that's usually for a particular reason. But then there are those that we can have for a lifetime. So that's
Yeah.
great. Uh, well, research also indicates that friendships depend on voluntary participation and interdependence. The study also shows friendships require mutual trust. You want to be able to trust that person that you may spend a good bit of time with. You want to be able to respect them. You want to have admiration and support. Is this something that you believe, or do you think that relationships are more straightforward or more complex than the research indicates?
Relationships can be very complex. I feel that because it depends on so many factors. But what you said about trust, admiration, respect, and support, that is number one in any relationship. I think it should be there. Because why would you want to be in a relationship where you are being hurt and not benefiting? If you're in a relationship, it should make you better. You should try to make that person better, and it should make you better. At least not take you down or hurt you in any way. So respect is important. Trust, admiration, and definitely support. When I said relationships can be complex, sometimes there are other factors. Maybe persons may want to uh, they're jealous of your relationship, or might want to get involved and tarnish it in some way. So you have to protect your relationship, is what I'm saying. You don't just go and on other person's opinions of your friend. That's your friend. You get to know your friend. Don't worry about what other people are saying about them, because you want to get to the truth. So it can be complex when other persons try to get involved, but it's really, if you're in a relationship, it should be a communication between direct communication between you two, and you should not want to hear any other thing. Like, you don't condone persons talking about your friend, that kind of stuff. You're not going to talk about your friend in a bad way behind her back, things like that. And if you are like that, then of course the relationship can be complicated, or it could become complex or even strained if you allow that type of behavior.
Yes, because surely if you're gonna sit there while they talk about uh, someone else, then they probably do the same thing about you when you're not there. So, that can get kind of tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I agree that. No, to me, a friendship is just like a marriage. You have to, this is not easy. You have to work on it, because you want to communicate with people, and everybody has bad days, and so you may say something that's completely out of your character that you would normally not even say. So a friend would know, hey, something must be wrong, maybe you're not feeling well today or something, so they'll just let it pass and maybe, call you the next day or two and say, hey, what was up the other day? So, but it takes that working, working together to keep that relationship going.
Yes, it does.
All right. So, why do you think teens as well as young adults feel less stressed and happier when they have lots of friends? Because, they like to hang out and all this. Um, and I don't know that but there are 4 levels of friendship that I was talking about before. And, it says it takes 50 hours of face to face time just to be casual friends with someone. And then it takes an additional 90 hours of face to face time to be close friends, and another 200 hours of face to face time in order to be best friends with someone. And like young people, they're on social media, so I'm wondering if it takes all of that to build a relationship, how are they doing it? Because certainly they're not face to face. So do you feel that the face to face time, getting to know each other, is essential?
It is essential to spend time with your friend. And I agree with that research, because the more time you spend with a person, you get to see them in different ways, in different circumstances, and you get to see their true character. And so it's important to spend that time. And I could see where to be best friends, you have to spend a significant amount of time. I think I became best friends with my friend in college because we were together a lot. I mean, we shared the same dorm room, so I saw her good days, bad days. We did the same course, and so we spent some time together. In terms of teens, why teens like to have a lot of friends, and they call it friends, and they don't even know at that age that some of them are not even their friends. It's just that they're hanging together and they want to be around a lot of persons because at that age no one wants to be a loner, or to feel that something is wrong with them, so they want to please these friends and to stay in the cool crowd and stuff like that. So and so they feel less stressed because they're not feeling unwelcome or unwanted because they have a lot of friends. But I encourage, and I know my grandmother encouraged me, and she told me the difference between the different levels of friendship. She said you can have acquaintances, but you only have one or two really close friends. Those close friends are who you spend your time with. You can bring them home. You can bring a bunch of people home. You could have 30 acquaintances. You smile with them in school, but all of them can be intimate in terms of share your personal space, like how you go by their houses and meet their family and things like that. So it's good for them to know the difference between the different types of friends, acquaintances, and then you have your best friends. I don't encourage persons to I don't encourage young persons to hang around with too much friends, because I think sometimes that could lead to problems and issues. Too many different personalities, and like I said, all of them are not their friends yet. They could lead them down the wrong track, you know. But
Right.
friendship is important, especially at that age. Everyone they want to be wanted, and for the support. they support each other. I think friendship is very important in the teenage years.
Right. Yeah, and then if they, a lot of them, if they don't have friends or anyone to hang out with, then those are the ones that, feel sometimes that you have low self-esteem, or then, because you're by yourself, people may tend to pick on you or bully you or whatever. So, I can understand wanting to have friends, but you're right. You have to, tell your children, I know you like people and you want to have fun or whatever, but everybody is not for you. You need to associate with like people,
That's it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, talk about, these young people and social media and this generation of just microwave everything. They are so fast to get in relationships. They find that's one reason why they find themselves in trouble a lot of times. But so based on the face-to-face time, it may it may take to get to know someone thoroughly. Excuse me. Do you think that young people taking that time to get to know people that they choose to be their best friends and closest friend, are they using that time wisely? How are they thinking about the right things, or are they just, I just want friends? So are they taking, I guess, quality time in selecting those friends?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know if they're thinking thinking wisely yet at that age. I think they're looking at persons who are just interested in hanging out with them, and have some of their same temperament, which is good, because you want someone who is interested in you for who you are, and not someone who's going to try to change you to be who they are. So
Right.
it's good that they're looking for persons. I think I'm talking about my class, my students that I observe. They tend to try and find persons of the like nature, smiling, talking, joking, athletes, or persons who dress well like they do, or and yeah, the quiet ones kind of hang together. So that is good. But I don't know if they're looking at long term. I don't know if they're thinking that far, but at least they're thinking about finding persons who like them for who they are. Now, some of them still try to please and transform, and they tend not to be happy, because they can never really change a person. So you can't change yourself. You shouldn't change yourself to try and please somebody else. So in class, when we talk about this, we tell them, you should choose friends who value you for who you are, your uniqueness, who celebrate you. Find someone who celebrates you, not who just tolerates you. And they could see if they're just tolerating them based on their actions.
Excuse me. Yeah, I talked about that Saturday about, people will say that they're your friends, but, you start thinking little things like, celebrating you. They'll hang with you all the time, but, if you get called out, well, thank you, Angela. You were the only one that aced that test. So I know that you studied really, really hard. So great job. Oh, she make me sick. She always gonna do her work. They got something smart to say. And that could be your best friend that's in that class too, and they hear it, but they won't say, well, that's great, Angela. Next time we'll have to study together. That could benefit them, but they just like, oh, here we go again. you know. And you just have to be careful, because so many times you think, oh, this is somebody that really likes me. Because I remember one time I had this person that was supposed to be my friend, and she was just, I just love Deborah so much. Well, she is so nice. And everything she could be doing wrong against me, she was doing it. She tried to sleep with my boyfriend. She was
Oh
trying
no.
to tell lies, spread lies about me, just everything. So you just have to be so careful.
Yeah, some friends get close to you for the wrong reasons.
Right.
They're jealous.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're on here and you have children, grandchildren, you teach or whatever, this is information that they really, really need to know because it can save them a lot of heartache and trouble down the road because, following those friends that are not good for them can really get them in a lot of trouble. So we talking like about funny things, making a lot light of it, but there are some things that can really uh, hurt them in the long run. Hanging with a friend, this is my friend, and your parents say, well, you don't need to be with them because they're not doing the right thing. So that's my friend, he's always been my friend, why can't I hang with my friend? Well, you and your friend are not, hopefully, not doing the same things because I've seen your friend doing some things that I would be very disappointed in you if you were doing them. But just because they do them, that doesn't mean I'm going to do them. Yes, but if you're with them and something happens, you're going to go down too. My mama don't know what she's talking about. Fast forward, you going to visit them because they in the retention center, juvenile retention center. Why? Because they were hanging with that friend, and that friend had some weed or something on them. Oh, it's not mine. It's not mine. So what do? All of you go down. So you need to listen. You need to listen.
A word to the wise is sufficient.
Yes. Good evening, Tamika. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Okay, well, Angela, what advice would you give our young people in developing friendships?
In developing friendships, well, we already said that you want to take time. First of all, you don't want to be too quick to call persons your friend. They can be an acquaintance, somebody you know and who you smile with, you maybe hang with. But friends, I think we have to not use it as loosely like how we use the word love. Don't be so quick to call a person your friend. Get to know them. Get to know if they have the same likes as you, the same ambition as you. Look at their character. What do you value? Do they have the same values? What do you value as a friend? What would you want your friend to be like? So you need to know, first of all, you need to know this, and then you need to know, be able to see it in your friend. So you want somebody who you're able, we said, to trust, someone who you can trust. If you tell them something that you know they're not going to say it again or use it to hurt you in any way, someone you respect, and you could know if they have these characteristics based on how they treat themselves and also how they treat their family members who are close to them. Because if you're a friend now, um, it's like your family, right? Friends stick close to you like brothers, like a family. So if you are a friend now, if they're treating their family any kind of way, then they could treat you like that. That means they don't have that characteristic in them. They don't have the respect. They're not loyal. You want someone who's loyal, who's respectful, who's trustworthy, who you admire and support. Look how they carry themselves. Look how they carry themselves. Because you want to be around a person like that. You don't want to be around a person now who is not treating themselves right, because they're going to not treat you right. So look at how they're treating themselves too, how they're grooming themselves. All of this could show you their character. So you would want to look at this in a friend. I also said earlier, you want to find someone who appreciates you for who you are, not someone who is trying to tell you, you need to do this to look like that, or you need to do this. If they don't appreciate you for who you are, then you don't want to be with that person if they're trying to change you to be like somebody else. Okay. Now, if you have a friend who is trying to lift you up, to help you to grow and to become better, then that's not a problem. But you should be able to tell the difference. Yeah, I think that's what I have for what I would tell my teens at school. Find persons who appreciate you for who you are. Look at how they're carrying themselves. See if they're actually listening. Yeah, find someone who's actually listening to you, not only talking. They're doing all the talking, and you can't do any talking. That means they're into themselves and not really into you. And they just want a follower and not a friend. So find someone who actually listens to you to find out what you like, your interests. That's important. And so, that's how you support each other like that as well. Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you. Those are some great tips. Excuse me, great tips. So I hope y'all have been taking notes out there. If not, you can go back and look at this video again just to pick up those pointers. Those were great tips that we can share with others. Some of the information may not be for you, but it could be for someone that you know, that you associate with sometimes, or a grandchild, or a nephew, or someone in your life, and it would benefit them. So please share. And this time went so fast.
It did.
Yes. But, I said earlier that friendships are like marriage. Is that something that you have to work on? They require time and effort. Sometimes you're going to have disagreement with your friends. You're not going to always get along with your friends. If you can always get along with somebody, now something wrong. Because we all have bad days. But Angela, sometimes when there's a disagreement or you detach from someone, it's a good thing. There may be time for you to separate. But when do you think that a person should invest in trying to mend a friendship if something goes awry? When is a good time that they should try to salvage that, find out what's going on, and ask them to forgive you if you did something wrong, or vice versa?
Ms. Deborah, I think as quick as you can do that, I would recommend that you mend it as quick as you're able to, because life is so short. You don't want any regrets. That's your good friend. You don't want any regrets to say, well, you've been angry for weeks and weeks and weeks when you didn't really have to be angry that long. And as a Christian too, the Bible tells you to try and do that right away. Don't be angry long, and if you're angry, do not sin.
Right.
But I would recommend right away, if you can, as soon as you can.
Okay. All right. So do you think that is always a good idea to, regardless of who it is? I mean, you might want to do that forgiveness, but
it depends on the type of disagreement. It depends on the type of disagreement. How long it will take to mend, and then it depends on the type of, if it's a betrayal or something. I mean, some things you may not want to mend, you can forgive them, like you said, and move on. But if it's a disagreement where, you just had a bad day and it was just something you didn't agree, or you said something in the wrong way, something like that, you can mend quickly. But if it's a betrayal, like certain things, it'll take a little longer, and you'll have to pray about that and seek counseling. If you really want that relationship, or like you said, maybe just let it go.
Right. Yeah, because I can think of, a couple of serious things where, like maybe you're in class and you're supposed to be friends and you're taking an exam. And so you're taking your exam, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Your friend's over here, he's trying to look on your paper and cheat, but you're not doing anything. You're not showing them your paper, you're not doing anything. You're just doing what you're supposed to do. The teacher sees something, and then she immediately wants to, well, I have to give both of you a 0. And, hey, I studied really, really hard, and I asked you to spend time with me to study. And you said you didn't want to, you didn't have time, but then you want to try to cheat on my paper and cause me to get a 0. That's a bit much. you know.
That is a bit much. And guess what? With everybody, you need to learn with how much distance you need to keep from certain persons during certain times. So now that person found out the character of that friend. So now they have to adjust the relationship, you know. So
All
now
right.
you know you can't trust them on that level. And so maybe even the type of friendship will now be changed a little in a little way. Yeah. See, it's complicated, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. So,
Friendship.
like you said, the trust factor and what, their character. So that's why it's important to, Angela said earlier, don't be so quick to say, oh, this is my friend. Learn people, learn their character. Don't just look at them from the outside. Oh, he plays football. Oh, he dressed so nice. Oh, he got dimples. Oh, she always smells so good. No, find out what's on the inside of them. Their
Correct. You
character.
can't trust everyone.
Yeah. And so this is what we need to do. So if anybody in the audience has any questions they want to put in the chat or any comments, you can put them in there. But Angela, I really appreciate everything. Is there anything that you want to tell people that you're doing, that we can follow you, or you just want us to know that you're doing?
Well, I am actually doing a session every 2 months with children's ministry workers, where it's a time where we could come and collaborate and share best ideas and talk about resources and maybe different events that will impact the youth. So this is something you could see on my page. My Facebook page is Angela Cooper-Nixon. I'm also on Instagram and I'm also on LinkedIn. So I'm working on that now. That's privately for church. But I am an educator and I tutor. I tutor science and I tutor biology. So if persons out there looking for a tutor, well, I tutor basically for the curriculum for the Bahamas. So if you're Bahamian, you're looking for a tutor, you can look for me.
Right. And you heard her. She's on Facebook. That's Angela Cooper-Nixon
Yes,
on
ma'am.
Facebook. And she's the best. I really enjoyed sharing with her class when I was there. And they was like, hey, they were glad to see her as well. So again, thank you all so much for tuning in today. I hope you are able to join us this Thursday. It's coffee time. So coffee chat with Deborah and Carol. We will be on, and we're going to be talking about something special. And actually, our topic is, let me see if I get this right, SUDAJ. So if anybody wants to try to figure that out, what we're going to be talking about beforehand, and hit me up on either my website or direct message me or either on social media. But SADUJ. But that is going to be our subject, and you don't want to miss it. Just like that is like, what could that be? It's going to be very interesting. So you want to tune in. That's Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get your tea, your water, your lemonade, your coffee, and join us. You'll be looking forward to it. So, Angela, if you are not busy out there with those students, you have to tune in. Check us out. Check us out. Hey, if not only to find out what in the world are they talking about.
I know, right? Will do. SADUJ.
Yes, thank you. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and thank you, Angela. Please visit me on my website. It's on the screen, www.buildyourbestlife.org. You can find out all about my platform. You can find out about me. You can read my blog that comes out each Monday. You can also look at my the services that I offer on my store. which is coaching, consultation, speaking, webinar speaking. And you can also get an autographed copy of my book, Build Your Best Life. It is a book that will assist everyone, young men, young ladies, parents, grandparents, pastors, mentors, educators. But it's about your life, your credibility, and your actions. So you can get your autographed copy on my website. And as well, if you like the Kindle version, you can get that on Amazon.com. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. Please join us when? Thursday. And remember, whatever you do in life, there is someone watching you. Your actions are always on radar. Someone's always watching those actions. So your personality, you may show them one thing, but they will get down to that character because they're going to watch your actions if you give them enough time. Your life is what you make of it. So please follow my basic principles so that you can begin to build your best life, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, but now. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan. It's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. Stay dry. Stay cool. Stay warm if you're in those northern states and what is that? Southwest. I think it's kind of cold in Texas. So y'all stay warm. I'm trying to stay cool. I'm burning up. So thank you. Bye-bye. I love you.
Bye-bye.